Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome to all of our witnesses here today. Ensuring the reliability and affordability of our electric power system is crucial for our national security, our economy, and the well-being of our communities. My home state of Florida is one of the nation's largest producers of electricity, with rapid population growth, increased manufacturing, and advances in technology, including artificial intelligence and the data centers needed to power it. Our demand and production will only continue to rise. It's imperative that our electric grid is prepared to meet this growing demand for power. Our generation and transmission systems must be reliable and resilient, with the ability to ensure continuous power supply and to respond quickly to unforeseen circumstances and changes in demand. Mr. Brickhouse, in your testimony, you mentioned the rapidly evolving threat landscape and that the electric sector faces considerable challenges from our cyber adversaries. Would you expand, please, on the types of cyber threats that our electric power system faces?
Well, it's not terribly different than what you and I face every day when we go home. If you click on a wrong link and your computer is, it gets some type of virus in it that can spread rapidly and shut your computer down. And obviously, in the utility space or at any business, we have large networks that can be shut down and harmed relatively quickly by those.
You also mentioned several specific programs that Basin Electric has leveraged to strengthen its cybersecurity posture, including the Threat Analysis Center, Rural Municipality Utility Cybersecurity Program. Are there any specific programs or best practices related to cyber that you want to highlight or share as success stories?
Right. Well, I'll answer it a little bit differently, is that we appreciate the federal government's support here because these are national security issues, and many of the bad actors are people from overseas. And so we need to work in a coordinated fashion with intelligence agencies in order to make sure that we understand the threats and can defend ourselves and our networks from those threats.
And Mr. Black, in your testimony, you mentioned that energy policy is highly regional due to some variations in factors like weather, geography, and resources. And Florida, like several of the other southern states that your company serves, experienced devastating hurricanes last year. I am interested in discussing further with you how utility companies like yours prepare for these types of events.
We are certainly practiced, unfortunately, at dealing with hurricanes. We had one of the largest hurricanes in our company's history this last year as it moved through Georgia. More poles, but I can go through all the statistics. It's devastating. Our ability to work with our friends in a coordinated manner to get customers back on is probably better than it's ever been, right? I think the investment in our system from a resilience perspective and the investment in our system in recovery has been, it improves year to year. These events get more remarkable, it seems, as the South continues to grow and proliferate, but our ability to invest in the system for resilience so that we can get back on quicker and work with our peers and colleagues around the country to bring those resources in is better than it's been ever.
And you just touched on something that I want to ask a follow-up question about, and that is, I understand the investor-owned utilities mutual assistance program has been beneficial for getting customers' lights back on in the wake of these extreme weather events. Can you share with us what that program is and how it has helped you work on disaster recovery?
Certainly, it's the processes and communication and the network that is required to call in crews from all over the country. And again, these last few storms, we had trucks and folks as far away from the West Coast coming into Georgia and North Carolina and so many of these states that were devastated. So the mutual assistance program, again, at this point is so well practiced, and the ability of companies to get people quickly on the work is the challenge. Having just the resources is step one. Getting them on the work is where the practice and the training and the commitment comes from.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you. The gentlelady yields.